Hi, my name is Eric Lee, and I'm a Senior Deployment Specialist at Central Nervous Systems. In this video, we will look at recording expenses such as meals, accommodation, and transportation as individual receipts, and then submitting them for approval and reimbursement in Acumatica. I'll demonstrate two ways to enter expense receipts. First, I will use the Acumatica mobile application that runs on iOS and Android devices, such as mobile phones and tablets, to show its ease of use in an out-of-the-office environment. I'll prepare another expense receipt on the web interface. After that, I will put both receipts in an expense claim that I can submit for approval. I'll now open the Acumatica mobile application on my iPhone. The app leverages the capabilities of the mobile device, such as camera or fingerprint reader. For instance, I will use Face ID to sign into Acumatica as admin. The app connects in real time and extends a variety of functionalities for mobile use. As you can see on my screen, we have approvals, leads. Further down, we have business accounts, even projects, and change orders. For organizations with multiple companies or branches, make sure to switch to the correct entity before recording the transaction. We'll now go ahead and open expense receipts to capture my bill for filling up at a Chevron gas station. To add a new record, I use the plus sign at the bottom left corner. The app provides data entry in several sections. I'll start from the top and click the camera icon. This allows the camera to be engaged. And when I capture the image, the app provides some tools for editing. On this screen, you see the lasso tool that surrounds the border of the receipt. In the next screen, I get some filters to enhance the image. When the image has been successfully captured, it replaces that camera icon. Next, in the description field, I'm going to put in a description. This is gas for the service truck. In the expense item field, I'll use the pull down to find an expense item prepared by finance. These ones all have the expense account identified. I will go ahead and pick car and vehicle charges. I'll then go to the amount field and then put in the $29 for the gas bill. And since this expense is for a project and can be billed back to the customer, I will enter the project ID. The project I've chosen is called Site Survey Project. So I will use the search, type in site, and then do a lookup. There's our project, and I'll select the task. The last thing I will do in this section is to toggle on the billable option. Next, we open the details section. Here we see the expense account has already been filled in. Since I paid for this expense with my credit card, I will switch the corporate card company expense in the paid with field to personal account. The same applies to debit card or cash payments. If there's tax on the bill, we change the tax zone to the appropriate zone. In this case, I will choose Canada, BC. Underneath, we have tax category, and I will switch from exempt to GST. I'll now go into the tax details section. As you can see, the app has worked out the tax amount. And I can drill into the details to review the calculation. So we have a bill for $29 with $1.45 of tax. I will now save this receipt. And you can see it has been captured for the after-tax amount of $30.45. Let me show you the second method to enter expense receipt. I'll go back to the web browser and log in as admin. Going to the time and expenses workspace, we'll find expense receipts and expense claims under the expense claims title. I'll use a quick link to open the form and enter a new receipt. For this example, I will choose travel as my expense item. And in description, I will put in return airfare to Edmonton for $400. Once again, we reference the project and task for this receipt. When it comes to paid with, there are three options. Personal account means when the system debits the expense account, a liability goes to the accounts payable and a bill is created to reimburse the employee. The next option for corporate card company expense means the liability goes to the corporate credit card account instead of AP. Our last option is corporate card personal expense. It means the employee's personal expense was paid with the corporate card. In this case, a debit memo is created in AP to recognize the amount the employee owes the company. I will choose the second option. In the financial details section, we see billable again. Since we're booking this cost to the project, billable means we can bill back to the customer. If we cannot bill it, this cost will still hit the project and allow us to see how it affects the project's profitability. I'll go ahead and choose billable so that we can bill it to the customer later. I'll now go ahead and process these two receipts in our expense claim. To create an expense claim, we'll go back to our workspace, select a new expense claim. Expense claim is the proverbial shoebox where receipts are kept together. We will give it a description. This is our project expense claim. In the expense claim details section, we can use the Add Receipts button to find the two receipts that we entered, add them to the claim, and now it is ready to be submitted for approval. I will go ahead and submit, approve, so that we can move on from here. The last step in the workflow is for accounting to process these approved expense claims. They will go to the release expense claims form. Excuse me. All approved claims are listed here so that AP can check each one of them for any potential errors. Once they're good to go, AP can release them all. At that point, Acumatica will create the journal entries, as we saw earlier with the accounts identified, create the AP bills, and post expenses to the projects. Let's inspect the results of the 2 receipts on this claim. To see the guest bill that needs to be reimbursed, we go to the Payables workspace, select Bills and Adjustments, and we find this entry here to pay Maxwell Baker for $30.45. This is a bill to pay back the employee. Where is the airfare? Well, remember we charge it to the credit card. To see the airfare, we'll go to Finance, and we will go to the Transactions for Account Report, select the corporate credit card account, and run this report. Here we see the $400 expense entry that we can use to reconcile against the credit card statement. This concludes the steps to record expense receipts, submit claims for reimbursement, and post expenses to the project. To see how we process other project cost entries, such as work time and purchases, please check out our other videos.